Morning guys, April 21st, 2023. I got a call from this old lady's neighbor that I worked for before. The neighbor called me. She's like 92, and that's a lady that was losing her license. And I worked on a boiler over there, and she was she had all kinds of stories and whatnot. And, she's quite the hoot. So I'm gonna go over there and find her. She got a problem with her kitchen sink faucet now, I guess. Told the guy to check the aerator. He checked it, and she wants to know how much is this gonna cost her. And I was explaining to the neighbor that's done time and material, you know. And I know she's older and everything, but I don't work for free. So she got a problem with a kitchen faucet. We're gonna go over there and see if we could find out what's going on with it. Sounds to me like it might be a diverter that's stuck, a bad diverter. She's home, and we're gonna go over there. Kind of curious on what happened with her license. I know last time she was telling me she went food shopping, and she couldn't find her way home from the market. And somebody called the police, and then they, filed a complaint, and they were going to take her license. She's walking with 2 canes, and she can barely walk, and she goes driving around, and she gets lost, and she shouldn't be driving, so for her own safety. So anyway, we'll go over there. I mean, she's quite the hoot. She'll have some stories, I'm sure, so. What happened to your car?
I sold it.
You sold it?
It's a long story what the hell is happening to me in Dartmouth. It's going to take somebody with a great deal of kindness to sit down and listen to the whole story. I'm so upset now I can hardly think straight.
All right.
What happened is this. Look at this.
You got to sell it.
Do not pay, No payment due, no payment due. Because of this, month after month after month, and they don't tell you why. And then I find that I'm over the asset limit for veterans. So now the veterans take me off. That's half my income for the bloody year. Twice those bastards have prevented me from getting what they call life alert equipment. I should have that. I should have railings around my door, you know what I mean? Termites are eating my home outside. There's no end to this. It's terrible what they're doing. They want me out of Dartmouth. They've felt that way since I've been here. This has been going on since my husband died. We put together a corporation. Remember Albright Service? Yes. Well, I helped in many, many ways. I found this home. I named the company. He used the logo I had for him. Val Moore had a mental problem. He didn't share with me anything. All he could say was, get me a scotch or get me a beer. But when we went on vacation, because some priest said, you don't spend enough time with your wife, and we went to Puerto Rico, and he tells me as soon as we get there, a few hours after we're there, they're going to put me in jail. I said, jail? Well, this is the truth. They're going to put you in jail. I says, for what? Yeah, I didn't bring enough money. I said, you mean to tell me you own 2 corporations and you can't call your bank or your lawyer or your accountant? I have to tell him I was solving all his damn problems. I didn't realize this. I talked him to talking to a psychiatrist in New York on Broadway.
He needed a scotch.
What?
He needed a scotch.
Oh, he was drinking scotch all the time. All the time. Get me a scotch, get me a beer. That's all he would tell me.
So what's going on with the faucet here?
It corrected itself.
That's not so bad. What's the complaint?
It corrected itself late last night, but I wanted you to come anyway.
Well, you want to talk? What's the matter with the faucet?
Just a minute.
Nothing's wrong with that.
I'm coming. It corrected itself late last night.
All right, yeah, it must be the diverter.
And you could hear a lot of noise. I thought there was a bloody motor that was making the water.
No, it's a diverter.
I'm going to show you how much water I was getting.
No, it's the diverter that's bad.
Last night, I didn't sleep all night, so, you know.
There's probably a bad diverter in there sticking. Anyway, so how much did you sell the car for?
Let me show you how much water I was getting.
Oh, it's working now, so leave it alone. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. There's a diverter in here. There's a diverter in here that's for the sprayer.
Yes.
So it must have been an issue, because watch.
I couldn't understand how the hell. I could see it
It's
having
working
trouble
okay now. Leave it
going
alone.
down.
It's good enough.
And this is how it was running.
It's running good now. Look at it. Look at it. See, I can tell it's a diverter because, listen. I know it's a diverter because now we're getting a better flow, and I was working a diverter back and forth. See? See now the flow coming out?
Is this what you want me to do?
No, I'm just saying it's in here, and it's a bad diverter.
Well.
Let me see if I can fix it. Let me see. It might just be full of stuff. Hang on a minute.
It was going like this, like that.
All right.
That's the water I was getting.
All right. Let me do my thing. Let me do my thing, please. Sit down and have a coffee.
I just had a cup of cocoa.
Yeah.
They're giving me a hell of a hard time, boy. And they schemed this. You know, first they tell me no payment, and then they slap me with, I'm off the veterans completely.
Yeah.
Half of the income gone. What the hell is the matter with these damn fools? They don't care what the hell they do.
Don't sound good, I'll tell you. Yeah.
He left. Why? Because he violated a statute law, the bloody fool.
Yeah, you told me about that.
That's right. That's why he's gone.
I don't know if I can even get this thing apart. Let me see. Let me try.
Do what you
try
can.
to get it apart.
But you think you know it hasn't gone. Not once did I have to hit the red button. After you addressed it,
Yeah, so
you
it's
took
fine.
care of the whole damn thing.
All right. Don't lock me out now. I gotta get my tools.
Okay. The lighter attorneys, they had me take my Social Security early. They made me feel that I should because my husband earned it, blah, 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 and it won't be there next year. The whole bloody thing went all to taxes. See, I don't understand money all that well because my husband always took care of everything.
Right.
As a result, today I get less than 200 to 300 less than everybody else.
Yeah.
So just imagine being stuck with that. No more veterans aid.
I don't think it's one coming off there.
Low Social Security. The SNAP is going to give me $23 a month. Of course, they've been given, a couple of hundred, a little over 200. For the last 2 or 3 months.
Oh, I can't get it off.
Well, what's that? They go down from 3 or 2 down to 23. The bloody fools. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They're going to lose this country. You're going to live under dictatorship. That's what's coming.
Yeah, we're going to need to put a new faucet in this thing. If it acts up again, we're going to replace. You want me to change it now? Or?
Yes, if you have the time, go right ahead, please.
Because this one here I can't get it apart.
Okay.
Why don't we put a new one in there? I got a new faucet, okay?
Good. Put in a new faucet. Whatever you do, you know what you're doing, for God's sakes.
Let me see what I got.
You know what you're doing.
All right, so let me show you what I got for a faucet here.
Uh-huh.
It's a little different than the one you got, but...
Well, as long as it's silver and it matches the sink.
Yeah, it's silver. It matches the sink. It's right here.
Okay, that's fine.
2-handle.
Yep.
2-handle Gerber, you know?
All right, that's
okay?
fine.
Yeah.
Yes, that's okay.
With a spray.
That's
all right? See, it's chrome. That other one is kind of like a little different color, but we'll put that one in there for you. Because I can't get this apart,
right.
And the diverter is going to be a problem. You're going to be calling me again.
Okay.
So let's just change it.
All right.
If I can get under here. Yeah, I figured that something was going on. I was kind of curious of what happened with your car.
Uh-huh.
And I figured that I didn't see it. I drove by a couple of times. I didn't see the car. I figured that you sold it or got rid of it.
What happened was, this is what happened. The man next door to me, who's supposed to be helping me, or that's what he's doing, so according to him. Well, anyhow, he told me to go on the driveway and charge it. You know, it takes a few minutes. Well, my car, the Toyota, was, I guess, younger than what he was familiar with, and they wouldn't let me shut the door with a key in the engine, you know, charging. It just wouldn't let me lock the car. So I decided to take a run with it. So I went up toward the Payton area, a little bit beyond. I don't drive much. When I bought the car, it had 50,000 miles on it. When I gave it up, it had 72,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
So you can see, I've had it since 2000 and, what was it? Oh, I forget. Well, anyway, I didn't have it long, and I didn't drive it much. And I'm not familiar with the streets anymore, because I don't drive that much. And a lot of places have closed down.
So they pulled your license? Did they take your license from you?
I gave it up.
You gave it up?
I
Okay.
gave it up.
All right.
Because they were going to put me through what a 17-year-old would do. I was going to go through that deep test. With
So they wanted you to go to a test.
Going to put me through a test just like I had never driven before. I was
Yeah.
going to park the curb and all that.
Yeah.
I've been parking places, for God's sakes, for the disabled for something like 20 years. What the hell? I didn't think I could do that and do that well.
So
I
you
don't even
said-
know how to get down the North End anymore.
So you gave it up?
Gave it up.
Yeah.
And
Probably
boy, did
better.
they play a scheme, Toyota.
Wait, where do I plug in?
They were going to pick it up, and they didn't. So when I saw I had a few days more to drive before I couldn't drive anymore, I decided, hell, I'm going to bring it to them. And
Giving it
so
up.
I did. They were going to pay me $1,000. And
For the car, 1,000. That's all you
that's
got.
all
for
I got. And I had just put in a converter the year before.
Well, that thing was worth a lot more than $1,000.
And I bought a new battery. I just bought a new battery that was about a month old. So for Christ's sakes, I lost on that.
You lost on big time on that. But that car was probably worth $3,000.
And then the police even took the matter to court. The court for what? The bloody court said doesn't apply. AP doesn't apply. I had never had an accident. I got a 99 record for all the years I've been driving. And the bloody fools even go to court. They're damn nuts.
Crazy.
Crazy is right. They're trying to give me a nervous breakdown or some damn thing.
Trying to give you a what? Anyway, we're going to give you a new faucet, alright? Need something new in your life.
I could have driven all summer. Everything's within 4 minutes of this house, for God's sakes. I managed this far.
So what did you tell the judge? You tell him they're trying to screw you?
Pardon?
You tell the judge they're trying to screw you?
Well, I don't know what the hell they had in mind. Why they went to court, I don't know. I never had an accident, ever.
Well, you said that you couldn't find your way home last time you went to the market.
Well, yeah, that's it. I stopped on the street. I figured someone will ask me if I have a problem. Well, the man who stopped, he's not from around here. He doesn't live around here.
Then he called the cops on you.
But he didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
So I offered him money to take me home, But he didn't take me home. He was pointing at a building, and he was saying, that's the school. I know the school when I see it. It wasn't, it was on this street, near a little concession store. But it wasn't the school. So I said to myself, what the hell? I mean, I make an agreement, but they don't carry it through the way you agree. And then they leave you, So he talked to the cops, I don't know what he said. But the bloody cops even went to court. Court for what? I never had an accident. So the
Boy,
court,
you got lost. You couldn't find your way home. So then you talked to the guy and he called the cops because he couldn't find it.
well, the cops, they found us all right. But
Yeah,
he said, well, I'm going to call the police. I says, please do. Because since he wasn't taking me home on my driveway, what he agreed to, I figured, what the hell is this? I didn't know he was looking at a GP, but that's what he was doing. But he didn't tell me that. He didn't tell me he wasn't from around here, and he wasn't telling me he was following a GP. So he kept going round and round and round. I said, oh my God, don't tell me I'm going to be victimized by this darn fool.
Unbelievable, huh?
That's what it looked like. I was scared to death. Oh, for God's sakes, I've been through hell.
Anyway, we'll change this faucet out for you. Put a new one in there, because if not, I can't get it apart, and what's gonna happen is it's gonna act up again, and you'll be calling me in a flippin' panic. Let's just change it.
No, you're doing the right thing. You're taking the damn fool thing out. I don't blame you for
I
that.
figured you'd be over here with, you know, a little firecracker going off and on.
They force a lot of people out of this town. You'd be surprised. You know, the man that used to take care of my gardening tools, he said, that's why I left. He left. Another one wanted to put in a driveway. They wouldn't let him. They said a wet ground. However, as soon as he moved out, the person who moved in, he put in a driveway immediately. They give you a hard time until you leave when they want you to leave.
You're gonna go to the nursing home, find yourself a man over there.
I can't hear every word you're saying.
So you gotta go to the nursing home, find yourself a man.
Oh no, I think at this age now, I don't think that will solve the problem.
No?
I don't think that will solve the problem.
Maybe.
It's crazy.
Oh, man, I don't know if I can get that thing off of there.
And they have, you know, with the veterans, they have 2 chapters 15.
Crazy. I don't know if I
What
get
they do
this
is
thing
they
off.
bury the men at the National Cemetery,
Crazy.
and they put the women on welfare. The women who are left with the children, they go on welfare. But
Who's
the man
this?
goes in the National Cemetery. My husband is buried at the National Cemetery. Would you believe it?
Really?
Yes. And as I look at the papers today, as I'm throwing away papers to make room for myself and declutter this home, you know, 50 years of saving papers, for God's sake.
Throw them out. How are you saving them
Why the
for?
hell am I getting anywhere? Well, if you look at the law book, it's right in the bloody books. You know what it says? It says favor the corporations of the businesses. Favor them.
Yeah.
In other words, that they're telling the lawyers, do not submit any evidence for the defendant to win. That's what they're saying.
Flipping nuts.
I went in 3 times myself in the Superior Court, and I won each case. I won. So I knew what I was doing. But those are the only 3 cases I ever won, and I often wondered why. Well, lately I just found out it's what is called a loophole. Are you familiar? Have you ever heard of a loophole?
I've heard of it, yeah.
That's what it is. It's a crooked scheme. And that's what they did. They put the veterans, the veterans with 2 chapters, 115. One is one for welfare, the other is for the veterans. They give them the proper amount.
What are you going to do then?
Yes, and also the formula is not the same. It's not the same at all. So I'm running around to Pace, I'm running around to Snap, I'm running around here, I'm running around there. Oh, for God's sake.
My God. Better stop running.
Well, I'm exhausted.
Crazy.
It's not surprising. After
Unbelievable.
this kind of crime against me. And now this damn vet thing. Ha!
Was he a veteran?
Pardon?
Your husband was a veteran?
My husband was a veteran, yes. He enlisted. He did enlist in the Navy.
He did.
He became a corpsman. He was going to be a doctor to begin with. And I guess he just wasn't cut out to be a doctor. Maybe he had trouble making diagrams or whatever. But anyway, he didn't become a doctor.
He did?
He didn't, no. And, but he went in the service, and he became a corpsman. He was only a 5'4", so he wasn't too tall.
Well, he was a midget.
Pardon?
5'4", that's short.
And so then he joined the reserves. And then they called him back. And now they loan him to the Marines. He wanted to get married in the service, but I said, my mother and father couldn't have afforded that. They wouldn't have known how to handle that. So we waited until he came out of the service, and then we married. But he was homosexual, I believe.
Was he?
Oh, if you look at all the evidence, you know, I stood up as a bridesmaid for his brother.
He was a homo?
I believe so.
Oh my God.
If you look at all the evidence, you know what he did?
What?
I stood up for a wedding. I believe it was for his brother. His brother or his sister, I forget which one. Anyway, one of them. And because I was living in Fall River, they wanted to make sure that I'd be on time. So they wanted me to sleep at their home. Now my husband, in the middle of the night, when we go to bed, he wants to come into my room. Well, I wanted to know what for. We weren't married yet, but he wanted to come into my room. Oh, I won't do anything, Aunt Jo. I won't do anything. So he stayed about 20, 25 minutes. You know what? I think he had told his father or his mother or somebody in the family, watch and see. I'll go in her room. I'll have sex with her. They might have suspected that he was homosexual. And he was trying to prove to them that he was not. So he uses me to fool her. Then we're on a boat one day. We had a vessel, a yacht, a flying bridge.
So was he a stud muffin or what?
Pardon?
Was he a stud muffin, your old man, or what?
I don't know what the hell he was,
No?
to tell you the truth. So we're on the boat, and there's this boat that has a lot of men on it, 3 or 4 or 5 guys. Hi, Val, hi, Val, hi, Val. Do you think Val said hi? Like hell. He didn't look at them at all. And they almost rammed our boat. They were so angry at his behavior that they barely made the damn boat without hitting us. But I'm telling you.
They might have been kissing cousins or something.
Pardon?
They might have been kissing cousins.
Well.
Might be.
What does that mean, kissing cousins? I don't know what that means.
Kissing cousins?
Pardon?
Maybe he liked to kiss the cousins. You never heard of kissing cousins?
Well, I've heard it, but I don't know what it is. I've never had anybody to talk to. I don't understand this world very well.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And they knew that, so they took advantage of it.
But anyway, yeah, you don't want to go out with a. You don't want to go out with a. You don't want to go. You don't want to be married to a homo.
Well, we got together a few times, but not often. He says, I'll never get the hang of this. He couldn't understand how the hell to handle it. Well, anyway, I got an ectopic pregnancy, and I almost lost my life. I lost an ovary and a fallopian tube. And the doctor was mad with him. He told him to read. He took a medical book and he shoved it at him.
Did he?
Yeah, the doctor. So I wondered, why in the hell did he do a thing like that, But that's how he was treated. The doctors were disgusted with him.
Unbelievable.
I've been through hell. First with him and then with Dartmouth.
Ah. Unbelievable. Never a dull moment around you, that's all I could say.
And then we're in New York, and he brags to the doctor, the psychiatrist, how well he's doing in business. You know what? The doctor gave him money to take me to a restaurant. He took it. He took the bloody money. He watched the dial on the cab, and when he reached the amount that the doctor gave him, he pushed me out of the cab. We got out. We walked to where we were going. We walked.
Was he cheap?
This is a guy that had a blocked aorta, mind you.
He didn't spend no money, he was cheap, huh?
I don't know, but he was cheap with me.
Was he?
Yes.
Crazy.
Well, in a way he was, and in a way he wasn't. Maybe he wasn't, I don't know. But anyway, when he died, if I asked the secretary any questions or anything like that, she'd say, what for? It never told me any answers, so I'd know where the hell, so I could learn. And the men weren't listening at all. They were walking without their hard hat. I could have lost everything. Well, I called it SCORE. There's a government agency that's called SCORE. They didn't help me at all. They walked into the room, they opened up the bloody window. I says, close it. Or I don't know if they were trying to tell me the room was stinking or what.
Why'd you marry that loser?
Pardon?
Why'd you marry him?
I can't hear.
I said, why'd you marry that loser? Why did you marry the guy?
Why was he mad at the guy?
I said, why did you marry him then if he was such a loser?
Because he was one hell of a handsome guy.
He was handsome?
Oh, yes. He had the bluest eyes you've ever saw. He was only 5'4".
You thought he was a hot stud muffin.
Well, yeah, the girls I danced with, they all liked him. And he wasn't that much of a good dancer. I've danced with good dancers since then, and by golly, he wasn't much of a dancer at all.
No.
But remember, I was a girl who was very, very shy. I didn't go out at all to speak of. In fact, I went out with one of those boys, Is it La France that owns the hotels? They've owned several hotels.
Yeah, I don't know.
I believe it's La France.
So you married him because he was handsome?
Yeah.
That's good. Why not, right?
If I had known what character is, you know, that would have been a different story. But I had never read. I went to 7 schools in 9 years. 7 schools in 9 years.
Why so many?
Well, because some classes, they had 2 classes in one room, so they moved me. And then my mother moved, we moved. And then she wanted us to make our first communion in the Catholic Church. And it, you know, it was one damn thing after the other. So I ended up in 7 schools in 9 years. And they kept me back 1 year so I could keep my brother company. Because Roger seemed to need me, you know, see, they felt he needed me. He was a twin. I was a twin with my brother. You know how backward my brother was? He was working as a janitor for the school department. I think it was the school department or the city hall, I forget. Anyway, so he wouldn't lose his different, you know, you had certain perks when you work in a certain job. And so that he wouldn't lose them, I looked into my law books and I told him, I gave him what he needed to keep whatever it is.
So look at this, brand new faucet, okay?
Okay.
No sprayer.
Good.
Okay, you're gonna be all set now.
Good.
All right.
That'll
You
do.
just wanted me to come over so you could talk to me. I know you. You're just looking for someone to talk to, right?
What's that again?
I said you were looking for someone to talk to.
Yes, anybody. I've never had a friend that I could talk to. My father was a wife batterer. You think I could get help? No. Her doctor told me he could kill your mother. Imagine that, being told a thing like that, your father could kill your mother. So I added an addition to my home, and I was going to protect my mother. And then they tell me, Officer Brandis told me, I wouldn't bring my father in if I were you, because if you do, you're going to be out and your father will be in your home.
Crazy.
Because that's how the housing operates.
Yeah, you gotta watch. You gotta watch that stuff.
So I never brought him in. I waited until he died, and then she came in, and I stayed for 7 years. But boy, oh boy.
Boy, so you're happy? You're happy with the faucet? Yeah. Okay. I'm glad.
I like what you.
What is it, Miss Molly? She just wants pets. Just wants pets. Watch this. She's spoiled. You're a spoiled little girl, Miss Molly. You're spoiled. You're spoiled. What? You want more pets? You want more pets? You're spoiled. I wasn't in there long. It's okay. Let me get her a slip now. Let me get her a slip. She needs her pets to be happy. Yeah, I love Daddy. You miss me. You missed me for a half an hour, Miss Marlett. Alright, let me get her a slip. Alright guys, just let the job, put a new faucet in for her. That other one there was the diverter that was sticking and I couldn't get the spout thing off, and I ain't gonna play around with it. I don't have a diverter for it anyway. So, that particular brand, so I just replaced it with a new faucet. She's happy and in and out of there. Didn't take me long.